Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Brothers and sisters, good evening. Those who are Muslims, Salam Alaikum. Now, a brother accosted me recently telling me that Allah did everything, that we have no free will. Allah has gifted us, that Allah has with all our actions, and it is called Al-Qadr. The belief of Al-Qadr is one of the aqidah of these Muslims, because we look at the tenets or the hukun, the ruknen or the rakan of the Muslims, we check one of them is Al-Qadr. And the concept of Al-Qadr is wider to the expectation that all Muslims should believe in. Now let's examine what Al-Qadr means. According to some, they say it's a predetermination, that Allah has predetermined our dealings on earth. And some Muslims are of the far end opinion, saying that we should believe in al-mukhayyara. Mukhayyara is something that a complete free will. Mukhayyara al-mutallaqa. Or believe in the complete free will. But according to Islam, we have to understand not from my opinion, from the books on the Quran, because the Quran explains itself on the issue of al-qadr and also the issue of al-mukhayyar. Now we look at it critically and academically to understand why we need to believe in the middle part, not complete al-qadr, predetermination, or complete al-mukhayyar, which is complete free will, that nothing is being organized by Allah, that everything we are is our own will. Now, the brother one time he accosted me saying that we should believe in al-qadr. I said, no, what's al-qadr? He told me al-qadr is so and so, that determination, that we'll believe in that there's nothing we can do on earth, even to the belief system. If we believe in Allah, it's Allah's way. If we disbelieve in Allah, it's Allah's way. Anything we do on earth, if I marry a wife, it's the will of Allah. It's not my desire. Allah is the one who will it for me. That if I marry somebody else, it's Allah. If I take this particular food, it's for Allah's will. It's not my will. And if I also buy a phone, it's Allah's will for me to buy the phone. Anything I do in this life, I don't have a will on my own. Allah has willed everything for him, because Allah is Al-Alim, He knows everything, and Al-Hakim is wise. Now let's examine it critically. I asked the brother a few questions on it. I said, okay, if for example, I come to your house and I said, give me water. Is it your Allah's will that you give me the water? He said, yes. Also, I followed the brother one time, forgetting that he had told me earlier on that it's Allah's will for anything I do on earth, anything he does on earth. So we were in his house, and fortunately for him, he brought food for us to eat. I brought food for us, which is customary that I eat in his house. But when he brought the food, I refused to eat. Then he got angry. I said, why are you angry? Is it not Allah's will for me not to eat? So he got complexed in the situation, and he thought of it, and he began to smile. And I said, you can see, your belief contravenes your actions. So if you believe that it's Allah's way, then you should accept it that way. Why are you not angry? Because you have to be pleased with Allah. Whatever Allah decides, you'll be pleased with it. So this is very critical. We have to look at it carefully. Now, there are two schools of thoughts, two distant schools of thought, and I believe to be at the middle, because Allah says, seek the middle path. For Allah knows the best. Now let's look at the first. The first school of thought say completely everything you do on earth Allah will. What was their evidence? It is found in some verses of the Quran, which I would like to quote. And it's also possible if we look at them. Let's examine the first verse. It's found in Surah Al-Hadid. The verse goes this way, and the Surah Al-Hadid is chapter 57 of the Quran, and the verse where they point out their evidence was in verse 22. Allah says in that verse, "Ma asaba min musibati fi ardi wala fi anfusikum illa fi kitabi min qabli an nabraha inna dhalika alallahi yasir." What's the meaning of the verse? It said, nothing befalls of calamities on the earth, neither on yourself, unless it is written in the book before. That means previously, everything we do on earth has been recorded. in the Kitab called Lau Mahfuz. That every actions are recorded. That this verse is an evidence to prove that our Qadr exists. That everything we do on earth, our married life, our dealings, our work, our actions, even our iman, either we believe, disbelieve, or believe, Allah has decided on it. So even if you go to hellfire, it's Allah's way. This is the verse where they pointed from. It is found in Surah Al-Hadid, verse 22. Let's look at it, the same verse, the same chapter, Surah Al-Hadid. But they've refused to look at verse 14. I will come to verse 14 before let me finish up with the evidence they prove on. This another verse is found in Surah Al-Baqarah. What Al-Baqarah means, Surah of cow. It's found in verse, that is chapter 2 of the verse of the surah, verse 6. Allah says in that verse, what does it say? Allah reminds those people who claim to have faith and yet disbelieve. Allah says, Inna ladina kafaru sawa'un alayhim. Those who disbelieve, it is the like of them. Whether and that room, if either you want them, ambilam tundirhum, or you did not want them, they will continue to disbelieve. What does it mean? Allah says, Inna ladina kafaru sawa'un alayhim andatahum amlam or ma amlam tundiruhum. Ma la yu'minun. They will never believe. Even if you want them or not, they will never what? Believe. But look at the verse that follows it. It says, خَتَمَ اللَّهُ عَلَى قُلُوبِهِمْ وَالسَّمِعِ وَعَلَى أَبْصَارِهِمْ غِشَاوَةً. Allah sealed their heart, closed their face, their eye, their earrings, and closed their eyes with a veil, mishawa, with a covering. And say, وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ عَظِيمٌ, for them it's a greater punishment. And we're looking at this meaning. What does it mean? That did Allah cover the heart deliberately? No. It was because of they projected an evil action or evil deed for themselves that Allah covered their hearts. Just like Pharaoh. When Pharaoh was alive, Musa alayhi salam came to him with a message to free the people of Israel from Egypt, but refused. He blatantly refused. He said that he did not believe in such message from God because he believed that there is no God. Then when he insisted continuously, Musa would repeat it to him, preach to him, give him signs for refusing that Allah sees his heart. This is what it means. Doesn't mean that Allah just sealed the heart from day one, from when he was a baby. No. It was when he began to change and he began to stay in his evil deed. That was why in Surah Al-Ra'd, chapter 13 of the Quran, read from verse 11, where Allah says in that verse. What did Allah say? Allah says that Lahu mukibatu, for him he has the ending. Min bayni yadayhi, for him, from what is in front of him, and min khalfihi, and behind him. Allah has it. Everything is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They say, Yaja amrullah. Well, when the affair of Allah comes, Inna Allah yughayru ma bi qawmi. Allah does not change what is in the people. Hatta la yughayru bi anfusihim, until they change what is in themselves. But in Allah yughayru ma bi qawmi, Allah does not change what is in the people. Hatta la yughayru ma bi anfusihim, until they change what is in themselves. It's Allah. Allah cannot come and change what is in them until they change what is in themselves. Then if we do that, then Allah will have freedom. If we not do that, then Allah will free. We continue that way. It's Allah saying. That's why when Allah continue in that verse, after He has said that, it says that if Allah has to change what is in their hearts, before they change themselves, then Allah is desire for Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will do that for them. But when they refuse to change, then Allah will leave it like that.